Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs all-party meet to discuss COVID-19 related challenges including vaccine rollout. Prime Minister says experts believe that India will have COVID vaccine in next few weeks. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.20% in the country. In Jammu and Kashmir, polling concludes for the third phase of DDC elections. Counting underway for Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections. Reserve Bank keeps the repo rate unchanged at 4.25%. And in cricket, Australia win the toss and put India to bat first in the opening T20 match in Canberra. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India will have a vaccine against coronavirus in the next few weeks. Addressing an all-party meeting today, Mr. Modi informed that 8 possible vaccine candidates are under different phases of trials in the country. He said Indian scientists are confident of coming up with a vaccine against the corona menace in the next few weeks.
अब जब हम वैक्सीन के मुहाने पर खड़े हैं तो वही जन भागीदारी, वही साइंटिफिक अप्रोच, वही सहयोग आगे भी बहुत जरूरी है। आप सभी अनुभवी साथियों के सुझाव भी समय समय पर भी इसमें प्रभावी भूमिका निभाएंगे।
The Prime Minister said the world is looking towards India for a cost-efficient and effective vaccine against the pandemic. He said through the collaborative efforts of the scientific fraternity, the country will deliver a viable option for mass vaccination in the near future. The Prime Minister said the vaccination program in the country will commence after a nod from the research scientists. He said the country has a robust network for such massive vaccination programs and appropriate cold storage facilities are also being added for proper storage and supply of the vaccines.
कोल्ड चेन को और मजबूत करने के लिए भी साथ ही साथ अनेक नए प्रकल्प भी चल रहे हैं, कई और नए प्रयास भी चल रहे हैं। भारत ने एक विशेष सॉफ्टवेयर भी बनाया है, कोविन, जिसमें कोरोना वैक्सीन के लाभार्थी वैक्सीन के उपलब्ध स्टॉक और स्टोरेज से जुड़ी रियल टाइम इंफॉर्मेशन रहेगी।
Mr. Modi said the healthcare workers and frontline corona warriors will be the ones who will be administered the vaccine first. He informed that the detailed priority list for the vaccination program will be prepared with the assistance of the state and union territory governments. The Prime Minister said that the pricing of the vaccine will be decided only after due consultation with the state governments, keeping public health care as the topmost priority.
वैक्सीन की कीमत कितनी होगी, इसे लेकर भी सवाल स्वाभाविक है। केंद्र सरकार इस बारे में राज्य सरकारों के साथ बात कर रही है। वैक्सीन की कीमत को लेकर फैसला जन स्वास्थ्य को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देते हुए किया जाएगा और राज्य सरकारों की इसमें पूरी सहभागिता होगी।
The Prime Minister said the country has come a long way since last December when the first news of coronavirus emerged and thanked everyone for their indomitable spirit and efforts. He urged everyone to continue Jan Bhagidari as the country is on the verge to undertake one of the largest vaccination programs.
भारत आज उन देशों में है जहां पर प्रतिदिन टेस्टिंग बहुत ज्यादा हो रही है। भारत आज उन देशों में है जहां पर रिकवरी रेट भी बहुत ज्यादा है। भारत उन देशों में भी शामिल है जहां पर कोरोना की वजह से होने वाली मृत्यु दर इतनी कम है। भारत ने जिस तरह कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई को लड़ा है, वो प्रत्येक देशवासी की अदम्य इच्छा शक्ति को दिखाता है।
Mr. Modi asked authorities to sensitize people about the vaccination program by giving right information. As he said, rumor mongering becomes rampant whenever such massive scale exercises are undertaken. He also urged everyone not to shun the time-tested cautionary measures of maintaining safe distance and cleaning hands until the vaccination drive is complete. The all-party meet, which lasted for around 3 hours, was attended by floor leaders of both houses of Parliament. Union Ministers Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh and Harshvardhan were also present in the meeting. Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and Ghulam Nabi Azad, TMC leader Derek O'Brien, DMK leader T.R. Balu, NCP patron Sharad Pawar and party leaders from other political parties participated in the virtual meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inspires India to become the pharmacy of the world. He undertook a 3-city tour to conduct an extensive review of the vaccine development and manufacturing process. Recently, he visited the Zydus Biotech Park in Ahmedabad, Bharat Biotech in Hyderabad and Serum Institute of India in Pune. In Ahmedabad and Hyderabad, India is indigenously developing vaccines to fight COVID, and in Pune, crores of vaccines to save the world will be manufactured. The Prime Minister told the scientists that he chose to meet them face to face in order to boost their morale and help accelerate their efforts at this critical juncture in the vaccine development journey. He stressed that India considers vaccines as not only vital to good health, but also as a global good. Mr. Modi said it is India's duty to assist other countries, including the nations in our neighbourhood, in the collective fight against the virus.
India has crossed a significant milestone in its fight against COVID. With cumulative recovery of over 90 lakh people so far, the recovery rate has further improved to 94.20%. The number of daily recoveries also continue to outnumber the new daily cases, taking the total recovered cases in the country at around 22 times the number of active cases. The daily positive cases have been below the 50,000 mark for 27 consecutive days. In the last 24 hours, nearly 36,500 new cases were reported, while nearly 43,000 people recovered successfully in the same time span. The active caseload of the country witnessed further reduction and has reached below 4.5%. Total active cases in the country today stands at 4,16,082, which comprises merely 4.35% of the total reported cases. The Health Ministry has informed that nearly 75% of the new COVID cases are concentrated in 10 states and in the Union territories of Delhi, Maharashtra, Kerala, West Bengal, Haryana and Rajasthan, among others. The Health Ministry has said that this has also led to a commensurate dip in the fatality rate, which stands at 1.45%. It informed that 540 case fatalities were reported in the last 24 hours. Over 11,70,000 COVID samples were tested in the country in last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 14,47,28,000. The central government and ICMR have scaled up the testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all. The Health Ministry has said that very high levels of testing lead to early identification, prompt isolation, and effective treatment of COVID-19 cases. It said this also leads to low fatality rate. Higher volumes of testing have also ensured lower daily positivity rate, which continues to remain below 4%. The country is undertaking almost 5 times the number of daily tests per million of the population, as per the standards prescribed by the WHO.
Telangana reported 631 fresh COVID cases during the past 24 hours. With this, the total COVID cases reported in the state have gone up to 2,72,123. The state conducted over 57,000 tests yesterday. The recovery rate slightly improved to 96.21%, with 802 more people recovering yesterday. This took the number of recovered people so far in the state to 2,61,830. The daily bulletin issued by the State Medical and Health Department this morning stated that total 1,467 deaths have been reported so far, following 2 more persons succumbing to COVID and comorbidities during the past 24 hours. Currently, the state has less than 8,000 active cases, out of which over 6,800 are in home isolation. In Mizoram, 63 patients recovered from the coronavirus infection in the past 24 hours, while 7 new cases were detected. With this, the total number of positive cases of coronavirus rose to 3,888. According to the State Medical Bulletin, the recovery rate has further improved to 93.97%. So far, 3,647 people have been discharged from different COVID care centres after recovery from the infection. The number of active cases presently stands at 235.
In Madhya Pradesh, the number of COVID-19 cases in the state climbed up to around 210,000 after 1,450 new cases were reported in the past 24 hours. With 13 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to 3,300. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
As per the State Health Bulletin, 1,569 coronavirus patients were discharged from the hospitals in the past 24 hours, taking the number of recovered cases in the state to more than 1,93,000. There are now 13,887 active cases in Madhya Pradesh. More than 30,000 tests were conducted in the state yesterday. At the same time, around 38 lakh tests have been conducted so far. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Additional Professor, Cancer Wing, AIIMS, New Delhi, Dr. Rakesh Garg says the corona pandemic is on and we must follow the COVID-appropriate behavior. He told AIR News, just by taking easy precautions, we can save ourselves and others from the virus.
One of the most important thing is wearing mask. You can use the cloth-based mask whenever you go out of the home, and that is very, very essential. Second important aspect is maintain social distancing. It will be good enough if you can maintain a distance of 6 feet when you are going outside or when you are gathering at any place, because the COVID infection spreads when you are very close to each other of an infected patient. The third important aspect is maintaining the hand hygiene, because the infection can spread when you touch any infected items and touch to your face, the infection can happen to you. So whenever you go out at any place, if you have touched anything, try to wash your hand with soap and water. If it's not available, you can use alcohol-based sanitizer so that your hands always remain clean.
Representatives of 40 farmers' unions participated in a dialogue with Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Railways Minister Piyush Goyal and Minister of State for Commerce Som Prakash in Delhi yesterday. Senior officials from the Agriculture Ministry and the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution also participated in the dialogue. This was the fourth round of talks. The unions have agreed to further participate in the next meeting tomorrow. Farmers' representatives raised the question of the constitutional validity of the three laws. The government side explained the constitutional provisions under which the central government legislated these laws. The farmers brought out issues related to the APMCs. They said there has to be a level playing field between agricultural produce market committees, APMCs, and private markets and trade yards. They also said that there is a need for proper registration of trade outside APMCs. The Agriculture Minister reiterated the government's commitment to the welfare of the farmers.
बहुत ही सौहार्द वातावरण में चर्चा हुई। यूनियंस के लोगों ने अपना पक्ष रखा और सरकार ने भी अपना पक्ष रखा। दो तीन दौर चर्चा में सामान्य तौर पर कुछ बिंदु निकाले गए हैं जिन पर किसान यूनियन की चिंता मुख्य रूप से है। हम लोग प्रारंभ से ये बात कह रहे थे कि भारत सरकार किसानों के हितों के प्रति पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध है। भारत सरकार इस बात पर विचार करेगी कि एपीएमसी सशक्त हो और एपीएमसी का उपयोग और बढ़े। जहां तक नए एक्ट का सवाल है, उसमें एपीएमसी परिधि के बाहर प्राइवेट मंडियों का प्रावधान है, तो प्राइवेट मंडियां आएंगी, लेकिन प्राइवेट मंडी और जो एपीएमसी एक्ट के अंतर्गत बनी हुई मंडियां हैं, उन दोनों में कर की समानता हो।
The issue of protecting the land of farmers in the Contract Farming Act was also raised. The farmers' unions also requested that the minimum support price system should be made legal. Regarding dispute resolution system in the new Farms Act, the unions said there is a need for an alternate dispute resolution system. The Agriculture Minister thanked the farmers' organizations for flagging their concerns and assured them that the dialogue will continue.
एक बात और चलाई जा रही है कि नए कानून के वजह से छोटे किसान की जो जमीन है उसको बड़े लोग हथिया लेंगे। वैसे तो एक्ट के जो प्रावधान हैं उसमें किसान को पूरी तरह सुरक्षा प्रदान की गई है।
Secretary, Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Sanjay Agarwal gave a detailed description of the Farms Acts and the measures taken by the Ministry of Agriculture for the welfare of farmers and measures taken to benefit agriculture during the lockdown period to keep the supply chains active. He said the Farm Acts have been framed keeping in mind the farmers' welfare.
In Rajasthan, farmers are getting benefit from the three farm laws recently brought by the central government. Farmers, farmer producer organizations FPOs and last mile consumers all are benefiting from these legislations. Our Jaipur correspondent has filed this report.
With these agricultural laws, selling produce through FPOs is proving to be profitable for the farmers. FPO Ajay Meru Kisan Samriddhi Producers Company Limited in Ajmer district recently purchased 41 metric ton of gram directly from farmers of Nimod village in Kaikri block. Farmers received rupees 100 per quintal more in comparison to market rate. The CEO of organization Omnivas Sharma told AIR
कि नए कृषि कानून किसानों के पक्ष में हैं और इन कानूनों के आने के बाद अभी अजय मेरू संस्थान गंगानगर और अबोहर पंजाब से किसानों से सीधा किन्नू खरीद रहा है। पिछले 10 दिन में हमने 15 से ज्यादा ट्रक लोड किन्नू खरीदकर बांग्लादेश और वेस्ट बंगाल में भेजा है, जिससे किसानों को अच्छे दाम मिले हैं।
Mr. Sharma says that the new agricultural laws are going to prove very beneficial not only for farmers but also for urban consumers. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
The Narendra Modi government has taken several measures with an aim to transform agriculture sector in the country and raise farmers' income. The government has recently implemented new farm acts in this direction, which include Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020 and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020. More from our correspondent.
The key objective of Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act of 2020 is to eliminate middlemen who pocketed most of the farmers' productive incomes. It also aims at ending the monopoly of buyers' cartels that fleeced farmers' income in the mandis. Through the path-breaking historic reforms, the farmers in the country have been for the first time given the freedom to sell their produce wherever they could demand a better price. The three crucial farmer-oriented and progressive legislation allows farmers to trade their produce online. Above all, the new legislations do not change the existing system of MSP and mandis in any way, leaving the prerogative of choice solely on the farmers. Setting up of APMCs are controlled by the state governments, and the new central legislations only give the farmers free and viable options to market and sell their produce. And all this comes with an added advantage of sufficient safeguard mechanism which can be accessed by the farmers right at the subdivisional level, ensuring dispute resolution to be both accessible and cost-effective. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs all-party meet to discuss COVID-19 related challenges, including vaccine rollout. Prime Minister says experts believe that India will have COVID vaccine in next few weeks. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.20% in the country. In Jammu and Kashmir, polling concludes for the third phase of DDC elections. Counting underway for Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections. Reserve Bank keeps the repo rate unchanged at 4.25%. And in cricket, Australia win the toss and put India to bat first in the opening T20 match in Canberra. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
To get accurate, reliable and wide coverage of news, tune into AIR News 24/7 and FM Gold and listen to the major bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in English and 8 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. in Hindi of half an hour each.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. In Jammu and Kashmir, polling for the third phase of DDC elections has concluded. Voting is taking place for 33 constituencies in this phase. Out of these, 16 are in Kashmir Valley and 17 in Jammu region. Overall voter turnout till 11 a.m. was 25.58% across constituencies spread over different districts of the Union Territory. The Kashmir division recorded an overall polling percentage of 13.64%, while Jammu division recorded 37.17% up to 11 a.m. 305 candidates are in the fray. A total of 2,046 polling stations, including 792 in Jammu and 1,254 in Kashmir division, have been set up for the conduct of elections in a smooth manner. Our Srinagar correspondent reports that militants fired upon an Apni Party candidate in Anantnag district. Anisul Islam, contesting from DDC constituency Sagam Kokarnag, was fired upon while he was touring in the area. He was shifted to district hospital where his condition is stated to be stable. In Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections, the ruling TRS is leading in more number of seats. However, the BJP is giving a tough fight, and in some divisions neck-and-neck fight is on. The first result has come out from Mehedipatnam, where least polling took place. The AIMIM candidate and former Mayor Muhammad Majid Hussain won the division. According to election authorities, by the end of the first round counting, the TRS is leading in 57 divisions, while the BJP is leading in 13 divisions and AIMIM in 32. The Congress is in the lead in 3 divisions. Our correspondent files this report.
Except in one or two, the counting of votes in all divisions of the JHMC is underway peacefully. Though in small numbers, the counting of postal ballots has raised the hopes for BJP candidates as the party shown its leads in over 80 segments out of 150 divisions in GHMC. However, after the end of the first round, the leads are getting stabilized. At many places, close contests between TRS and BJP candidates are seen. The AIMIM is leading at several World City divisions. Declaration of results is slowly taking place. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
Maintaining an accommodative stance, the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das today said that the Monetary Policy Committee has unanimously decided to leave the policy repo rate unchanged at 4%. He said the marginal standing facility remains unchanged at 4.25% and the reverse repo rate stands unchanged at 3.35%.
The MPC voted unanimously to leave the policy repo rate unchanged at 4%. It also decided to continue with the accommodative stance of monetary policy as long as necessary, at least through the current financial year and into the next year, to revive growth on a durable basis and mitigate the impact of COVID-19, while ensuring that inflation remains within the target going forward.
Mr. Das said the MPC was of the view that inflation is likely to remain elevated with some relief in the winter months from the prices of perishables and bumper kharif arrival. The RBI governor said the signs of recovery are far from being broad-based and are dependent on sustained policy support. He said the real GDP growth is projected at minus 7.5% in 2020-21.
While exports are on an uneven recovery, the prospects have brightened with the progress on vaccines. Taking these factors into consideration, the real GDP growth for 2021 is projected at minus 7.5.
Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Nitin Gadkari today laid the foundation stones of 15 national highway projects of Nagaland through video conference. The Union Minister also inaugurated the improvement of city portion of Dimapur City NH39. The total cost of the 15 national highways projects in the state is worth over 4,127 crores rupees, having a total length of 270 kilometers. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Gadkari said the government is committed for the progress of the Northeast region, especially the state of Nagaland.
For the development of Northeast as well as development of Nagaland, we are very much committed for that. The total NH network in the state of Nagaland was 880.68 km till 2014. The NH network has been expanded to 1,547 km. 667 km added to the NH network in the state of Nagaland during the last 6 years.
The Central Pollution Control Board CPCB has issued a notice to the Delhi government to take corrective measures to mitigate the menace of pollution in the capital city. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar informed that the notice asked the Delhi government to check various sources of pollution in the capital city.
केंद्रीय प्रदूषण नियंत्रण मंडल ने दिल्ली सरकार को एक नोटिस जारी किया है जो प्रदूषण के कारण है उस पर तुरंत कार्रवाई करे और जो कंप्लेंट्स आ रहे हैं जो हम दिल्ली सरकार को फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं उसका भी संज्ञान और एक्शन तुरंत ले.
Mr. Javadekar said that even after the season of stubble burning has almost come to an end, the air quality in the city remains a matter of serious concern. Navy Day is being celebrated today. The day is celebrated on the 4th of December every year to recognize the achievements and role of the Indian Navy in the country. It was on this day in 1971 during Operation Trident that the Indian Navy sank 4 Pakistani vessels including PNS Khyber, killing hundreds of Pakistani Navy personnel. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted all valorous Navy personnel and their families on the occasion. He said the Indian Navy fearlessly protects the country's coasts and also renders humanitarian assistance in times of need. Home Minister Amit Shah and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar also greeted all Navy personnel and their families on the Navy Day. Mr. Shah said India is proud of all courageous Navy personnel for their unwavering commitment in protecting marine borders and serving the nation during calamities. Mr. Javadekar also greeted all the Navy personnel for their indomitable courage. In the first T20 International of the 3-match series, Australian captain Aaron Finch won the toss and elected to bowl first against India at Manuka Oval in Canberra. India was 74 for 2 in 10 overs when reports last came in.
Kerala remains on high alert even as cyclone Burevi has weakened. Met Department predicts that cyclone to weaken into a depression as it enters Kerala. As widespread rain and strong winds are forecast in the southern part of the state, coastal regions are on high alert. State is fully prepared with a constant vigil by disaster response forces and authorities. Normal life in Puducherry was disrupted for the second consecutive day as the rain lashed the city during last 48 hours. There have been heavy downpour throughout last night, inundating the low-lying areas like Rainbow Nagar, Venkat Nagar and Indira Gandhi Square. Authorities are working hard to drain the flooded areas. Adjoining districts of Tamil Nadu, Kuddalore and Villupuram have also been receiving heavy rains. The lakes in these districts are nearing its full capacity. Rains have inundated various crops like paddy and groundnuts.
President Ramnath Kovind paid floral tributes to former President of India R. Venkataraman on his birth anniversary at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The President and officials of Rashtrapati Bhavan paid respects before a portrait of former President R. Venkataraman. Ramaswamy Venkataraman was an Indian lawyer, Indian independence activist and politician who served as a union minister and as the 8th President of India from 1987 to 1992. Now let us take a look at the weather today. The national capital will have a mainly clear sky with temperature varying between 8 and 27 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 20 and 35 degrees. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. Temperature will hover between 24 and 27 degrees. Kolkata will witness a mainly clear sky. The city will observe minimum temperature of 17 degrees, maximum of 28. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between -1 degree Celsius and 10 degrees. In Jammu, minimum temperature was 11 degrees, while maximum will be 24. City will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was -7 degrees, while maximum will be 5 degrees. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with temperature hovering between 0 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover from 5 to 20 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, temperature will hover between 9 and 24 degrees Celsius. Mainly clear sky will prevail. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs all-party meet to discuss COVID-19 related challenges including vaccine rollout. Prime Minister says experts believe that India will have COVID vaccine in next few weeks. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.20% in the country. In Jammu and Kashmir, polling concludes for the third phase of TDC elections. Counting underway for Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation elections. Reserve Bank keeps the repo rate unchanged at 4.25%. And in cricket, Australia win the toss and put India to bat first in the opening T20 match in Canberra. And with that, we end the midday news.